Well, President Trump knew about the whistleblower complaint before the White House lifted its hold on military aid to Ukraine. That is according to our corporate cousin, the Wall Street Journal, which confirms reporting by the New York Times. The papers report the president was briefed about the complaint back in August. And then on September 11th, the White House informed Congress it was releasing the money to Ukraine. Meantime, the House Judiciary Committee is giving President Trump and his lawyers the chance to participate in next week's impeachment hearing. Let's bring in our panel. Robbie Suave, he's the associate editor with Reason, which calls itself the magazine of free minds and free markets, and John Thomas, chief strategist at Pushback PAC, which responds to Democrats on major national issues. Let's begin with you, Robbie. I mean, the president was briefed about this complaint in August, and the reporting is that he released the aid in September. What's more important here, when you release the aid or why the aid was withheld, in your estimation?
Right. I mean, that's a difficult question to answer. I think what it definitely doesn't establish is that, I mean, how does this hurt his defense, right? That the aid, we ended up giving it to them. So there was no harm, no foul here. That's what the president's supporters are saying. And I don't really think this information changes that very much. You know, you might say, well, this undermines his case that his behavior was perfect the whole time or something like that. I think most people don't think it was perfect. But I think a lot of people also are not willing to impeach the president over this. And I don't see how this really adds to the case. I mean, every new development, right, is treated like some major revelation that is going to result in his ouster. But I think a lot of casual viewers are kind of getting tired of this boy who cried wolf kind of situation.
Because the thing here, John, is the Democrats are saying, look, the reason he released the aid in September is because he got caught, because his people told him in August that this phone call with his complaint was happening, and he got caught and he released the aid. And the Republicans are saying that's not the case.
Here's the issue. The key piece of evidence was the transcript that President Trump voluntarily released pretty much on day one. This entire impeachment inquiry has been a game of third and fourth hand telephone trying to gauge intent. And there's only one person on this planet that can tell us intent. And Trump's made it crystal clear. He didn't withhold aid for political reasons.
Yeah, I want to read this now for both of you guys. This is Mark Sandy, okay? He's the White House Office of Management and Budget Director, and was his testimony, and he said this about the aid when he learned about it and what they told him. It says, okay, at any point in time, from the moment that you walked into the SIF, which is the secure room where the testimony took place, any time in history has Mr. Duffy ever provided you a reason why the president wanted to place a hold on security assistance? The answer is, I recall in early September an email that attributed the hold to the president's concern about other countries not contributing more to Ukraine. And what's happening here, John, is that Democrats are saying, look, he didn't learn for months why this thing, and then finally in September the aid is released. And what the Republicans are saying is, well, hold on, because that was the only explanation the president ever gave.
And that's actually consistent with President Trump's broader philosophy on giving aid to foreign countries, which is they need to be doing their part, that the U.S. government can't be just giving aid without anything in return.
What do you think about that, Robbie? Is it one of those instances where we take this testimony and then both sides kind of pick and choose what they want from it and they go with it?
Right. Well, I mean, we're trying to figure out this incredibly bureaucratic process of holding or delaying and then releasing aid and trying to find out, which officials and why. And it's like a game of telephone for who initiated the hold. And for somehow throughout that, we have to find out exactly what was in Trump's head if and when he said, no, don't do it for this reason. And that's just going to be hard to do, even if there was some wrongdoing or not perfect behavior here. I don't know that you're going to convince the country, let alone enough Republicans in the Senate, that this is worth removing the president for the first time in history over.
So now we move forward in the impeachment inquiry. The House Judiciary Committee will hold its first hearing next week. And John and Robbie, to you, let's start with John first. Jerry Nadler says, hey, we think the president should come and the president should let us know if he plans on bringing his lawyer and giving us some information.
Of course, that's a cute offering, knowing that it would be terrible for the president to do it. This process has not been fair at any step. Why would the president put himself forth? It doesn't make sense. But here's the thing. This has been, as the president's called it, a witch hunt. The facts are irrelevant. The Democrats are going to impeach. Now they're trying to move public opinion. This is their last attempt. But here's the issue, Trace. It's actually been backfiring with those critical swing voters. They're moving away from the Democrats and toward Trump on this issue.
And, Robbie, what if he does? What if the president sends Mick Mulvaney and Rick Perry and Mike Pompeo before this House Judiciary Committee? Is that something that would sate the Democrats?
I mean, it very well might be. I don't think he's going to do that, and I think it'd be wise not to do that. That Trump, I think, wants to have the fight in the Senate, perhaps on friendlier terms, if that's what's going to happen. There's still a chance that some Democrats, even in the House, say, you know what, do we really want to do this when there's effectively zero chance this will result in Trump being removed from office? And what it could do is call into more questions, legitimate or illegitimate, but possibly legitimate or possibly just a bad spotlight on who might be their candidate, right? Former Vice President Biden. It's possible they decide, what's the point of doing this? We'll find out, I guess.
We will, and I've got about 10 seconds. I just want your yes or no on this, Robbie. Do they vote to impeach the Democrats?
I think likely yes.
110% yes.
110%. John Thomas, Robbie Suave, good of you both. Thank
Thanks.
you. Well, more Americans are now dying at